Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Papyrus Motorsports Park for the second annual NNSCRA Honeydew Donuts 250K. This time around, we've added one lap to the total distance. 1 year ago, we held this race for the first time. It was 42 laps. This year, it's 43. The cars used has also changed from trucks to Canadian cars known as the Pinty series cars, with a special amount of schemes at that, honoring different legends who have run in motorsports. So just a quick highlight over last year's race. The pole sitter was Colt Hudson with Philip Goldberg, who was outside. We had 4 yellow flags on lap 2, 13, 22, and the 2 to go mark, lap 41. Last year we also had heat winners, as we had 54 trucks entered and only 42 made the race. Your heat winners from last year were Alexander Rowe and Chris Wheeler, with an LCQ winner out of James Ellison. And winning the main event was Joshua Ciculli by 0.06 seconds over Jesse Turner, after Seth Cole got into the lap down truck of Philip Goldberg, put himself in the wall. He couldn't get back to Ciculli, and Ciculli made it back to the white and yellow flag first. Drivers who are in this race this year that did not qualify last year are Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Peter Onjak. Your top 10 returning drivers and where they finished: Jesse Turner 2nd, Seth Cole 3rd, Cement Oskin 5th, Jonathan Zorlin 6th, Tony Green 7th, Ryan Brommer 9th, Jose Mills 10th, James Ellison 11th, Eli Bright 15th, and Colt Hudson finished 20th 1 year ago. As you guys saw yesterday, I put up practice and happy hour videos that did not have commentary. I recorded those late at night and wouldn't have really had anything to say for those videos anyway. I figured I might as well record practice and happy hour and just give you guys something to see what the package is like. Practice was cloudy, 67 degrees, and happy hour and the race today, it's cloudy, 73. Not as much wind today either, so we'll likely see it's going to be a little more difficult for drivers to hit 190 and put the car in the 4th gear without the help of draft. So we'll see what happens. Let's go trackside for the command.
Y'all come say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
As it looks like someone has stalled on the grid, potentially. I believe so. Someone has an issue on the grid, and it's the 21 of William Brock. Good thing we're on full pace lap. But until he can get out of the way, it's going to hold up everyone behind him. And this could get dangerous. Let's be smart about this. He will finally move to the very bottom, and he'll get out of everyone's way. And onto the grass he goes. So Brock, not a good start to the race for him. But let's go back to the front of the field and get you through your starting lineup. On the front row, it's Zach Rogers and Johnny Gardner. Row 2 is J.D. Martin and Ryan Brommer. Row 3, we've got the 22 of Jeremiah Dwayne and the 91 of Richard Johnson. Richard Johnson fastest in practice with a 75.334 draft time over Ryan Brommer's 75.748. Johnson qualifying 6th, was also 6th fastest in happy hour. Brommer ended up being 38th fastest in happy hour. Row 4 is Andrew Rich and Levi McIntyre, and in row 5 we've got James Ellison and Charles Sanford. Fastest in happy hour was Sebastian Ciculli. Happy hour was a time where we did not really see anyone hit fourth gear. So Ciculli was only able to run a 76.201 over Wes McCoy's 76.247. Ciculli starts 36th, McCoy starts 24th. Ciculli was 15th fastest in practice, while Wes McCoy was in the top 10 at 9th. So there's the 21 of William Brock. Again, he's going a little faster just to try and reach where he starts. But he is likely going down pit road here on the green flag, because I don't know what he's trying to do to the car here in the grass. But we're going to be coming out of turn 7. I believe it is a 7-turn track. Six or 7 turns, something like that. But anyway, Richard Johnson has shown most of the speed this weekend. Will that propel him to winning this event? Or will someone else take the checkered flag? The defending winner is not in the race. 43 laps of action. Cautions are on. Green flag is out, and we are underway in the second annual NNSCRA Honeydew Donuts 250K. A reminder, we saw the first yellow on lap 2. Will that happen again here today? We'll have to wait and see if William Brock returns to the track. They'll head into the tight right-hand corner. This is where we're going to see a lot of craziness happen. As they are already 3 wide there. Johnson, Dwayne, and J.D. Martin into the ever more tighter left-hand corner. This is where a draft is going to be very important if you can get your car into 4th gear. Right about here is where 4th gear will beat out 3rd gear. It's about 180 miles an hour. As you see Gardner getting pushed by Zach Rogers. Help from Ryan Brommer. As Johnny Gardner will lead the first lap in this year's event. But as you can see, just about 190 there for J.D. Martin, but he couldn't put it in 4th gear. However, James Ellison did, and this could be huge if Ellison can make the right moves. It looks like Charles Sanford got it in the 4th gear as well. It's going to be tough for them to get it into 4th gear today. But if you can get it in the 4th gear, this is the half of the track where it'll be beneficial. Over here, not so much. 3rd gear's going to reign supreme. Watch the speed difference between Richard Johnson and Charles Sanford. You can see 3rd gear a lot more better on the acceleration. And you see if you're on the bottom there and you dip below a certain speed, I believe it's about 140 miles an hour, these drivers will downshift the 3rd. But right here you can see 4th gear, not as good as 3rd gear. But right about here is where they equal out, and it goes back in the favor of 4th. As you see, Sanford and Ellison are drafting there over 190 miles an hour. And just look at the speed difference, over 10 miles an hour to Johnny Gardner from Charles Sanford. And we are under caution on lap 2 for the 2nd year in a row. Ryan Brommer is your race leader. William Brock does continue on the racetrack, and he avoided going a lap down. And it looks like we're getting an idea of who was involved. Dale Lightning's car is destroyed. Dylan Thomas was showing some promise in practice and happy hour. He's done for the day. Jose Mills with heavy damage. Peter Onjak was involved. Ooh, Seth Cole, who finished 3rd a year ago. He might have some damage. It doesn't look that bad right now, but that's a bump from Onjak to the back of the 12 machine. Edwin Mendez has got heavy front end damage. And the 34 of Patrick Smith, I believe, with damage too. Brian James in the 31 machine's got right side damage. Everyone else appears to be clean and good to go. So with that said, it's just a one lap. Yellow drivers will have one chance to come down pit road. And then they'll restart the next time by, but a good break for William Brock, but a tough break to those involved. As you can see, Dale Lightning already retiring from the race. And Dylan Thomas is likely right behind him. So we'll see who comes to pit road here. But it is likely not going to be a lot of people, I would think. Fuel window is about 11 laps. Maybe 10, maybe 9 with the cloudy conditions. We'll see if anyone comes down pit road, and then we'll take you to look at the accident, as it looks like everyone's going to come in. And indeed, that is the case. So everyone down the pit road, let's take you to look at the first yellow flag of the day. All right, here we are looking at the first yellow flag of the race. And it looks like this is just some four-wide craziness gone wrong. Sorlin down there next to the white line, but Matt McIntyre shoves his nose in on Dylan Thomas, and he just comes up off the corner and hooks Thomas down the track. Thomas just saves it, but there's a wall there, and he slams it hard. He's smoking. He comes right back to the left into Dale Lightning. Seth Cole's going to have nowhere to go. He makes slight contact. Brian James already has door damage here. There's Edwin Mendez hitting the 12. He'll slam the inside wall. There's James hitting the inside wall. Peter Onjak has nowhere to go. Jose Mills made contact with the 3. Patrick Smith, this was all at the back of the field too, man. Mendez and James drive away. Colt Hudson gets a piece of this. But man, what an incident. And a tough break for those involved. They were racing for nothing back there. But man, oh man. With that said, we'll take you guys to the race restart. Getting ready to go back racing after looking at the incident. J.D. Martin is your new race leader after pit stops. Andrew Rich in second. Charles Sanford third. Osman Hamid, I believe it's pronounced, is in fourth. Or Ausmain, I'm not sure. Fifth is Johnny Gardner. Sixth, James Ellison. Seventh, L.J. Toledo. 8th, Ryan Brommer. 9th, Richard Johnson. And 10th is Levi McIntyre. Repairing damage was Seth Cole, Peter Onjak, Edwin Mendez. You can see the front end ripped off the 4 machine. Same goes for the 98 of Jose Mills. Damage repaired for Colt Hudson and Brian James, among others, but none of these drivers elected to retire, so Mills and Mendez will likely be roadblocks in laps to come if we ever get a green flag run going. Now history shows the next yellow came at lap 13. We'll see if these drivers can make that happen or if another incident will bring out a quick yellow flag. After lap 13, there was one on lap 22, and then we had a good run. So maybe we just need more cars taken out of the race. We'll find out soon enough. Pace cars down pit road. As we're getting ready to go back green flag racing, it's the Skull Bandit Chevy that leads them to the restart with J.D. Martin on board behind the wheel. Green flag out once again at Papyrus. And a good restart for Andrew Rich, already on the bumper of the 33 machine. A move behind them for third, that's Hamid, looking for the position on Charles Sanford. And Rich looking to the right of J.D. Martin, but he will not make a move as they move through the only right-hander at 160 miles an hour. There you can see the skid marks from the accident. But J.D. Martin holding on to the lead from the restart so far. Top three remains the same. Andrew Rich, Charles Sanford, the top three. Sanford going to look to the left side of Andrew Rich. As we'll see who gets the fourth gear here first. It could be the 91 of Richard Johnson. And it is. To fourth gear he goes. Same with LJ Toledo. Ellison, Gardner hit the fourth gear as well. The top four do not. And that's going to hurt them. Everyone's drafting up right behind them. Hamid's going to try and use them as a pusher. They are using more fuel while they're stuck in third gear. Let's see what Gardner can do here. Is there anywhere he can go into the right-hander? Oh, he really throws it in. He gets by Hamid, who gets loose. Sanford, though, going to battle back with the advantage of third. As J.D. Martin continues to lead. Let's take a look at the back of the grid. There's Edwin Mendez. Only ran a 1:21 that time by. It was the first lap from the restart. The leaders ran 1:19s. Jose Mills is about a second faster than the 4-car. And Seth Cole has damage, but he is clinging to the draft right now. But it does not look like Seth Cole will have a winning chance this time around. As Mills comes off of the final turn, he's hitting about, let's see what it is at the start-finish line, 174 miles an hour. Mendez is 3 miles an hour slower, and about a second difference on overall pace. As Peter Onjak and Seth Cole are both losing the draft, same with Brian James and Colt Hudson. Patrick Smith is actually without a rear bumper, but he is keeping up nonetheless. Not a lot of hurt that damage will do to him. As Jesse Turner's actually got right side damage, but they have not fixed that damage, but he seems to be doing okay here at the back. So we just kind of roam through from the back of the field to see who's where right now. Excuse me. As Arthur Xavier is making a charge towards the front. Charles Sanford has taken the lead. But Johnny Gardner and Xavier, they're in fourth gear right now. They're going to make a move on J.D. Martin. You can see right at the line Johnny would get him. So that could be a move you see for the lead as Sanford's almost going to get turned by Gardner. Things got very dangerous there as Xavier and Toledo drive by the leaders. Now 1-2 on the track. So far your fastest lap goes to the 17, a 1:15.850, and the 17 driven by Kev Shearer. Remember, fastest time we saw in practice was a 1:15.3, followed by a 1:15.7. Now that was with the temperature down at 67 degrees. It's up to 73 degrees now, so it's a little, not as much grip, not as much cold air going through the engine, so it's going to be harder for them to reach such a lap time. But right now the top 5 are all in fourth gear. Everyone's in fourth gear until you get back to J.D. Martin, who's still stuck in third, and that is now costing him positions, as everyone behind him is flying. And you need to get to, there he is, he just got it in the fourth gear. You can see the speed difference as Xavier gets ran on by. Ellison to the lead temporarily as they are already, Nope, wait, that's a different corner. It was just the camera. That was confusing. James Ellison, though, to the race lead, did well in this race a year ago. We'll see how good he can do here in the second annual event. Johnny Gardner in second. LJ Toledo now down to third. Brommer up to fourth. Xavier fifth. Richard Johnson, who's shown the best overall pace this weekend, is looking for that position from the 43. As Alsamain Hamid also still in the top 10 along with Andrew Rich and J.D. Martin. As Charles Sanford has fallen outside the top 10. Jeremiah Dwayne currently holding that final position. Now we saw the second yellow a year ago at lap 13. We're on lap 9 coming to lap 10. So far things are looking pretty good as everyone's going to make a move on the lead here on Ellison. As this is what it's going to be like all day. It is going to be tough to keep the race lead until drivers get to pit stops and the field spreads out. Then things could get interesting. But for now, lots of three wide movement going on at the front as Brommer and Gardner are side by side for the top spot. So we take a look at the ticker. You can see Onjack and Seth Cole are struggling to hold on to the draft, but they are there. 25 seconds back from the leaders is Jose Mills. 30 seconds back is Edwin Mendez. Those drivers are about 5 seconds off the pace. Brommer looking to the inside. There it is. Down the third gear he went. He got too tight. Everyone behind him dropped to third gear as well except for Christian Russell. And this is where things could get crazy. They're three wide for the lead because Gardner's the only one in fourth. Everyone else is stuck in third except for Johnny Gardner, and he's got no draft right now. But this is making things very crazy. And Gardner is still the only one in fourth gear, as a few others now start moving back into their final gear. But three wide craziness at the front of the pack, as Zachary DeLello has joined the group, along with Christian Russell, the 9 of Matt McIntyre up here. And there's the 17 of Kev Shear, who's got the fastest time on the board. The 11 of Freddie Soto moving his way up here. Sanford trying to get back to the front. McIntyre, Nanako, Commons, Dylan Young. There's Kukulon, fastest in happy hour. To continue to fall back. Brock is still trying to work his way towards the front, only 30th right now. And there's Jesse Turner with his right side damage. Adam Flickinger might have some kind of damage that we can't really see. Patrick Smith, Colt Hudson, Brian James, Peter Onjack, Seth Cole also at the back of the field. There's Jose Mills. And there's Edwin Mendez. You can see Mendez is another full second slower than Mills. And the lap traffic are going to be a huge hindrance for the leaders when they catch. Hamid's coming down pit road here on lap 11 as Richard Johnson will lead at the start-finish line. So the more time you spend in third gear, the crazier, trickier it's going to get to save fuel. But Hamid is the first one down along with several other drivers. William Brock, Brian James, Patrick Smith. They're the first four down pit road. So Hamid comes down by himself. That's not going to bode well for him if he needs draft. Johnson still in the lead now. Jeremiah Dwayne up to second place. Andrew Rich looking for second on Dwayne. Xavier fourth, Brommer fifth. We'll see who comes to pit road this time by. And it looks like Richard Johnson will be one of them. Yep, here he comes. LJ Toledo, JD Martin, and Zachary DeLello. They're all coming down. A good amount of cars. So the first big pack of cars comes down pit road. And that gives the lead to, oh, Edwin Mendez is actually coming out of pit road right now. That gave the lead to Jeremiah Dwayne. And the Ford Mendez was just coming out of the pits. But he's not going to be in anyone's way. As we're looking for the 98 of Jose Mills, has still not come down the pit road. There's Hamid. Let's see where the 72 is on track in regards to those who just pit. So you can see hitting only 184 by himself. It's not looking really bad, to be honest. The tire wear is going to help him, and he will get by Richard Johnson. And that's the tire wear talking. There is a decent amount of tire wear at this racetrack. So it seems draft will not be important in regards to pitting. Here we go off the final corner again on lap 13. We're still green. And Jeremiah Dwayne will lead everyone down except for Kev Shearer, who had to stay out. But everyone else comes down pit road with the exclusion of the 17. And Shearer, Shearer did not hit the brakes. I don't believe anyway. But Shearer will be the one stretching it the longest he can, which I believe is about 11 or 12 laps. And we'll stick to the 17 and see if he can keep it going to pit road. Not sure what the fuel's looking like for this car. But tires definitely important. You can see from the best lap, even with draft, Shearer 2 seconds off from the best time that he set. So tires are definitely going to be important today. I don't know if they were this important a year ago. But right now, looking at the picture, everyone's still got to pit 2 more times after this. Even if you stretch it 12 laps from lap 14, it's 26 to 38. So it's going to get interesting, that's for sure. But Shearer will be the last one down pit road. We'll head back to Hamid, who continues to lead. Now LJ Toledo behind him in second and Johnson in third. As it doesn't look like anyone's hitting fourth gear just yet. They're all spread out now. But there's DeLello. He's one of the first ones off of pit road just now. And he is not that far behind. But Hamid currently leads. There you see the draft from Toledo, the draft from Johnson, and so forth. If whoever gets in the fourth gear, it's going to be big for him. And J.D. Martin's the first one to do it, I think. Yeah, J.D. Martin has a head of steam. There's Kev Shearer. He's pretty far into the pack now. But Martin, Brock, Oskin all to fourth gear. What a recovery story for William Brock. But here we go. The fourth gear madness is on. That was only for the first half of the track. Now these guys got to try and keep it in fourth gear through the left-hand corner. Still no lap traffic troubles. Osmain Hamid leads the field. We're going to take one short break, and we'll be back with more action from Papyrus in the second annual NNSCRA Honeydew Donuts 250K. We're back at Papyrus after that quick little break. Hamid still leading. None of these drivers have been able to get it in fourth gear. Richard Johnson looks like he might have a chance. Just can't quite hit that mark. And they better watch out because Samet Oskin, J.D. Martin, William Brock, they're all in fourth gear, and they are starting to fly up through the field when they're not getting stuck behind third gear cars. But there you see Oskin just right on by, closing in on the lead group now. The 18, 21, 33, they've been whipping. Same with the 9 of Matt McIntyre. Just look at the speed difference as he catches Andrew Rich. James Ellison, Kev Shearer, Sebastian Kukulon, Ryan Braum are there in fourth gear now too. Tony Green, Johnny Gardner, and many others at the back of the field. So The people at the back are not having an issue. By the way, Jesse Turner very far back in 38th. There's Jose Mills, 39th at the line, and there's Edwin Mendez in 40th. As LJ Toledo has taken the race lead from Osman Hamid, and Hamid has fallen to 3rd. Richard Johnson has fallen from 3rd to 6th. Top 6 in line. This is what's really hurting them. They keep trying to make moves to pass. 3 wide for the lead. No, fourth gear for the 27 of DeLello as Hamid takes the lead back. This is going to help the 27 car. If he gets enough of a run, he could have a shot at Hamid before they get to the slower corners. See, there's the draft picking him up right there. Oh, but he gets in the wrong groove, and Xavier and Dwayne are going to go right back by him. Here comes Oskin. Freddie Soto's put it in 4th. Christian Russell. A lot of drivers in 4th gear now. And this is going to hurt these top runners the longer they're stuck out here in 3rd. And they will be catching Edwin Mendez soon, followed shortly by Jose Mills. And could that cause another yellow flag, or will we hit our 2nd round of pit stops and spread out the field even more? DeLello keeps it in 4th gear. Here comes himself, Oskin, and others flying by Richard Johnson. Where does DeLello take his run? Up to 5th place is the 27 car. Can't quite figure out where he wants to go, but he'll get by the 43 nonetheless. And oh, there he goes to a different line this time. Behind the 7 and the 22, he'll make it 3 wide into the right-hander. Almost 3 wide. As he's getting tight, now we're going to see what the different tires strategies are going to do here. Remember the 72 of Hamid pit first. I'm surprised he's still up here at the front of this group. Ooh, and that move by Dwayne plopped the 18 back into 3rd gear. Now with more cars in front of him, could Johnson have a chance back into 4th gear? 4th gear is just so important if you want to make a move to the lead. Just look at DeLello pulling away from the 91. Same with the 18. There it is. Johnson finally got it in there. Same with Toledo. Hamid, Dwayne, and Xavier did not. Heck, Oskin doesn't even have it in 4th yet. But the leaders have regrouped fittingly right before the next round of pit stops. And they're catching Edwin Mendez. This is going to be the big thing right here. Hamid will go by, but DeLello is going to get blocked in by the 4 car. To helicopter camera we will go. We have not seen this view all race. Ooh, Matt McIntyre got close to hooking the 27 at the bottom of your screen. You just see Mendez is just really hurting these guys. And this is the big zone where you don't want to get trapped. There goes Ellison 3 wide with Shearer and Mendez. That should get Mendez out of line, but ooh, Zorland's going to get blocked by the 4 car. That's going to hurt Zorland, J.D. Martin, and William Brock. As we're on to lap 21, just about halfway through this race. And I got to say, a lot less chaotic than the race we had a year ago. Though you could debate that it is just as chaotic, as Samet Oskin will go to the race lead. A Chevrolet won this race a year ago. after a ram sat on the front row, could we see the opposite occur? A Chevy on the front row and a different manufacturer taking home the W. It's Toyota in the lead, Chevy second, Dodge third, Ford fourth. So we're closing in on those next round of pit stops. This could really show us who can and can't make it on fuel, as there goes Hamid. Him and William Brock, Edwin Mendez, they're all coming in here on lap 21 to lap 22. I believe that was only about a 10-lap run for the 72 team, so he is definitely going to have to pit one more time. So we go back to Oskin. There's the 98 of Mills. Where are they going to catch the 98 car? That's the big question now, but you can see tire wear has really kicked in. Being in third is likely a little more beneficial right now. As here comes Arthur Xavier. This is where pitting later is going to come into your hands. But we'll see how early they pit here will determine maybe how early they pit on their last green flag stop. A caution would change everything, of course. But right now it's looking like it's 10, 11 lap stints for everyone. Who's coming down on lap 22? Not the top three, that's for sure. LJ Toledo's the first one in. DeLello, Soto, Johnson, Dylan Young, and JD Martin will all come in pit road. Ooh, and Soto getting held up a little bit. His stall right in front of DeLello's. We'll see how pit stops go for these guys this time by. We'll go back to Oskin. They just caught Jose Mills, and that hurt Christian Russell and some others. And it's going to really hurt Jeremiah Dwayne right here as they're 3 wide behind the 98 of Mills. But Mills has better tires. Look, he's actually doing better than them in the corner. But it's on the straightaways where they'll get the 98. Just look at that. So much better tires for the 98 car. He just really ekes out the 15 through the corner. But Russell's going to cross over to the left. Oh, he's almost going to hook the 98. Battle for the lead between Oskin and Xavier. But Xavier's coming to pit road. So's Oskin. And Shearer will stay out with Tony Green and a few others. Oskin, one of the first pit stalls on the pit road. So let's see who stayed out. I believe it was Shearer, Green, and I believe Ryan Brommer. Yep, those are the only 3 to stretch it to lap 24. Yep, everyone else is down pit road. See where the 72 comes out in regards to these guys. There he is coming off the final corner. There's Oskin and Xavier racing off pit road side by side. But Hamid still in firm control until draft and tire wear takes things back into the other guy's hands. So Hamid back into the lead for now. Oskin second, Xavier third. There's DeLello fourth, Toledo fifth. Brock sixth. There's Christian Russell, Matt McIntyre, Soto. Where did the 91 of Richard Johnson go? Oh man, he fell way back on his pit stop. Tough break for the 91 car. Where did Andrew Rich go? Rich was near the front earlier. Oh, he has also lost some ground, I believe. He has lost a ton of ground. Back to Kev Shearer in the 17. He's just on pit road. Same with Tony Green and Ryan Brommer. 4-tire stop for those drivers. Shearer will come off a pit road with the freshest rubber on the racetrack. There goes Hamid and the leaders. As we'll see if Shearer wants to take 2 tires and less fuel on his final stop, it could potentially help him out. But we'll have to wait and see what everyone decides to do. As Oskin has already caught the 72 of Hamid, and his tires are a 2-lap difference. So Hamid short pitting this time I don't think is going to pay the dividends it did the first time. As we're under 20 laps to go, we're going to take another break. Hamid currently leads, but Oskin's all over his bumper as he makes the move for the lead. We'll actually stick around here for a moment. And Hamid will not be able to block the 18, as now the 18 will be pushed on by the 43 and the 7. And Samet Oskin will lead at the line, and we'll be back after a quick break. Yo, give some props to the 21 team of William Brock fighting this man back after trouble right on the grid. Brock is in the top 5. This is unbelievable. Must be very unbelievable. Brock very happy with his pick through, I'm sure. Currently running in 3rd. However, he is one of the undercutters with Osmain Hamid, who are going to be struggling here in a few laps to keep themselves up here. But the top 2 are starting to pull away. It's Samet Oskin in the lead with Arthur Xavier in 2nd. Rest of your top 5 is William Brock, LJ Toledo, Zorlin by Hamid, Christian Russell going to go by as well. There's Zachary DeLello in 8th, Matt McIntyre in 9th, with Freddie Soto rounding out the top 10. Also in range right now, Dylan Young, Wes McCoy, Kev Shearer, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Bradley Ream, James Ellison, Jeremiah Dwayne, Richard Johnson, Tony Green, Ryan Brommer, and Sebastian Kugelon. And I guess you can count these guys too: Tyler Fink, Charles Sanford, Patrick Smith, and Eli Bright. JD Martin, Zach Rogers, Levi McIntyre were at the front at one point. They've fallen way back. Same with Johnny Gardner and the 68 of Andrew Rich. We haven't talked about Sky Common. Skyke, I'm sorry if you're seeing this that I misspelled your name. I had already done practice when I noticed. So my apologies for just mentioning that now. If you don't hear me mention it in the video, I will definitely apologize to you in the comments section. As William Brock to the lead over the 43. 15 laps to go this time by. So another 4 laps and we'll be in the pit window. As Zorlin will make a move on the 21 for the lead. This is 4th gear racing right here. You can see several drivers at the top of the screen. Pretty much all of these guys are in 3rd except for the top 2, and then Dylan Young, who just entered the top 10. As you can see, it's about 181 miles an hour where it goes in favor of 4th gear. But McIntyre's got better tires than the 24 car, I believe. We know Shearer's the highest guy with the best rubber. It was him, Brommer, and Green who pit last. There's Brommer and there's Green. Richard Johnson trying to fight and claw his way back towards the front after a terrible pit stop. Xavier in 3rd gear. Look at how much closer to the grass he is than the 21. I see right here. This is where Zorlin gets the power back in 4th gear. Xavier was closing until Zorlin hit 4th, or 185 miles an hour, I would like to say. But Zorlin in the lead right now. looking to give Ford an NNSCRA Honeydew Donuts 250K win. As there's Fords in the top three right now. Christian Russell second, LJ Toledo in third. Oskin fourth, Brock down to fifth. We're seeing Brock and Hamid, who undercut. They're starting to get hurt by their tire wear. Draft can only save you for so long. But Zorlin in the lead. It'll be 13 to go this time at the start-finish line. As Christian Russell makes a move on Zorlin for the lead. Can he get him at the start-finish line? I'm not sure how many different leaders we've had. I'm sure it's at least half a dozen. As here comes Toledo now, making it 3 wide. Here comes Oskin. Here comes Xavier. With the draft help, of course. As I believe the 72 has come down pit road. Indeed, Hamid and Brock are on pit road. There's the other driver who pit with them earlier, the 67 of Colt Hudson, and it's 4 tires for these guys. And Brock will get out before Hamid, and by a good margin too. So those are the first 3 to come to pit road. They should be good to go till the end. If they are not, then that's going to be tough. 13 laps. It's going to be tough for them to stretch it. Peter Onjak and Edwin Mendez also down pit road for what will likely be their last time of the race. As now it's time to see who pits next. Zorlin's 3 wide with Russell and LJ Toledo as Oskin's back in the lead for now. But who's coming to pit road? Who's coming to pit road at 12 to go? And the first one down is the 11 of Freddie Soto. And he is coming down by himself. Unlike last year, we had 4 yellows. This year, we've only had 1 so far. Well, at this point, we had 3. Seth Cole's coming down. He finished 3rd a year ago. He's not going to get a good finish this year. But 4 tires for the 11 machine. And Seth Cole might have hurt him coming out of his stall just a wee bit. Jose Mills will pit for the final time today. There's William Brock and Osmain Hamid, freshly done with their pit stops. Zorlin now back to the lead. Oskin's second. Dylan Young's in the top 5 as Xavier gets really loose or something there going into the corner. Remember, Brommer, Shearer, and Tony Green, wherever he is, have the freshest rubber and stretched it the longest last time around. We'll see if they just short pit this time with this pack. Coming to 11 to go. Who comes to pit road? LJ Toledo and Zachary DeLello, Wes McCoy, Fitzwater, Johnson, Ellison, Kukulon. Those are the top runners coming in this time by. Let's see what the call is. Likely 4 tires and fuel. Right side's up and down for Toledo. Yep, left side's up as well. So 4 tires and fuel for these guys. Back to Zorlin we go. Christian Russell's now in the race lead. Actually, no, it's Samet Oskin as they're going to catch Jose Mills here. It looks like they've passed Mendez temporarily from pit stops. Yeah, he is 2 laps down. We'll see if they catch him or not again on the racetrack, but Mills likely will be in the way at some point down the line. These leaders have not pit yet, so if they deal with him once, they might have to deal with him again. Anyone stays out, they're going to deal with the 98. Here we go, coming to 10 laps to go. Shearer will pit with the top runners. It's Oskin, Russell, Zorland, Young, Xavier, Matt McIntyre, and Shearer, the front guys coming in. One car stayed out, everyone else is coming in. And that was Tony Green who stayed on track. What's the strategy call at 10 laps to go? As you can see, Mendez passing them on the track, so they will have to deal with Mendez again. 4 tires stop for the front guys. So we head to Tony Green. I don't think he'll catch Mills, because Mills is on fresh tires. You can see Green doesn't have the strength in these corners, and these are tire corners for sure. Look at Mills, who just came to pit road. 148 miles an hour is his low point. Meanwhile, Tony Green's got to dip all the way to 138. And he's stuck in boggy 4th gear right there. I would have downshifted there if I was Tony Green. Does Green attempt a 2-tire strategy? I don't think it would work out for him. He wasn't near the leaders like Shearer was. And he'll come down pit road here at 9 to go. So theoretically, everyone can make it on fuel if they can find the way to stretch it up to 13 laps. Tony Green will pull into his pit box here. We have gone green since 1 caution on lap 2. There's Mendez, so they will catch the 4 again. And William Brock leads the field right there. There's DeLello, Hamid, LJ Toledo, Soto, Oskin, Zorland. Those are the top 7. And then the pack of drivers who just came down pit road. And there you see Tony Green out as they're 3 wide for the lead. Hamid, DeLello, Brock, Soto right on Hamid's bumper. And they're going to go 4 wide just about as Brock gets flung out of line. That was a good way to avoid an accident. But that's it. Pit stops are said and done unless Hamid and Brock and some others can't make it 12 or 13 laps on fuel. If they can't get their cars in 4th gear, I believe it could come down to fuel strategy. That's the only thing. If your car is in 3rd gear around the whole track, 10 laps, you're probably not going to make it on fuel. Toledo has the fresher tires. He's trying to get by Hamid as Hamid makes a move on Soto, who is in 4th gear. And he's the only guy up here in 4th gear. Everyone else in 3rd until you get to Ryan Brommer. And there's Soto getting the run back in 4th. And he'll beat Hamid at the line. 8 laps to go at Papyrus. How far away is Edwin Mendez? There he is. I don't think they're going to catch the 98 though. But Soto in strong control of the race lead right now. Everyone behind them's in 3rd gear until you get to Ryan Brommer. Jeremiah Dwayne, James Ellison, Sanford, Kukulon, Shearer, they're all in 4th gear. But they are a far ways away from the front runners. This is where 3rd gear will help the drivers behind Soto. As I believe everyone back to 20th could have a chance at this, depending how the draft game works. And there's the 27 of DeLello making a move on Soto. He's got 3rd gear advantage. Oskin will fly by as well. 11's going to get in line here in 4th gear, and draft will take care of the rest. And there it is. Hamid can't make it on fuel. They're pitting a lot earlier in case others can't do it. But Hamid comes down on lap 36 to 37. It was a valiant effort. Right sides are up for the 72. Do they take 4 tires here or just right sides only? They are going to take 4 tires. But Hamid cannot do it. Now the question's going to be, can William Brock do it? And I don't think he can either. Last year's race took 1 hour 16 minutes. This one's looking like it's going to take a lot less. Soto back in the lead. Third gear still helping DeLello for now. On the latter half of the track, and that's where you want to be in third gear anyway. Sorlin's gotten it up the fourth. Same with Toledo, as Brock is almost going to get his nose chopped by the 7. But William Brock is coming down pit road. He can't make it either. Freddie Soto just came down pit road. He can't make it. And giving away the lead at that. Back to Zachary DeLello, as here comes Jonathan Zorlin to the inside. And they're catching Edwin Mendez. It was a 4-car that caused the yellow 1 year ago. Oh, and it's almost going to do it again. DeLello will get blocked back by the 4. But he'll make a move to the right side. That's going to help some of the guys behind them catch up maybe a wee bit. But it's still anyone's race as Zorlin's in the lead. They could still catch Jose Mills. Jonathan Zorlin in 4th gear. Toledo as well, but Oskin in 3rd. Same with DeLello. Christian Russell catching up. There's Fitzwater, Matt McIntyre, Dylan Young, Wes McCoy. Those are the guys in range right now. And then there's a bunch of pack of Hungry Wolves behind them, as Mendez is going to get in the way of Matt McIntyre. Jose Mills just came to pit road. So that's going to get rid of that problem. They won't catch him again. I don't think anyway. They might catch Brian James. He just came down pit road too, so drivers are finding out that most of them can't make it on gas. Zorlin's in the lead again still. Toledo 2nd, DeLello, Oskin 3rd, 4th, Christian Russell 5th, Fitzwater 6th, Dylan Young 7th, Matt McIntyre 8th, Wes McCoy 9th, and Sanford is in 10th. Who can make it on fuel? Who's got the tires? Who's going to win this race? Right now, Zorlin's looking like he's in prime control of this thing, but so did Seth Cole when he took 2 to go. And then everything changed. Everything changed coming off of 1 corner. DeLello in 3rd gear with the run on Zorlin, but nowhere to go with it. But now you got to ask yourself, can any of these guys make it on fuel? They're all staying out, the top 5. Zorlin, DeLello, Oskin, Toledo, and Russell. Zorlin pulls away in 4th gear again. Right now it's hurting the 18 and the 27, and the 15 to be honest. They're not in 4th gear down the straightaway. That's what's hurting them. Not only their fuel tank, but their chance at passing Zorlin as well, as Zorlin and Toledo pull away very much here on the first half of the course, where being in 4th gear is what you want to be in. You can see tire wear has hit though. 117.0 for Zorlin last time by. As Christian Russell is trying to pass DeLello for 4th place. And he'll do it. Does he get a good line into the left-hander? He does. DeLello trying to cross him back over. Can't quite do it. Here comes Samet Oskin once again. Dylan Young, Fitzwater, and Matt McIntyre have closed the gap. 3 laps to go this time by. And we're still green flag racing. Top 5 all stay out. 6th, 7th, and 8th have caught as well. They're trying to get by the lapper of Peter Onjak as their 3-wide craziness behind them in the back of the pack. Lap 41 is when disaster struck a year ago. They're 3 wide for 3rd. Oskin made it by in the second. Toledo will fall backwards. But Zorland's been in control ever since he took the lead. Brian James is the only one I think that could play a role in this. They're catching him about a second and a half a lap. I don't think they're going to get to him, though. Fastest lap of the race goes to the 42 at Green, who ran a 15.420. Sanford ran a 4.97, so those guys had some heckin' draft runs at one point. But here it comes again. The more tire wear comes in, the more third gear becomes an advantage. Oskin with the move on Jonathan Zorland. Here comes Christian Russell. Here comes Zachary DeLello. And Zorland with no draft can do nothing in fourth gear. It'll be 2 laps to go, this time by at the start-finish line. DeLello can't make it on fuel. He's got to pit. There it is. Third gear finally did him in. And it's 3 wide for the lead as Zorland takes it right on back with the help of fourth gear and draft. Christian Russell into second place past Samet Oskin. Here comes LJ Toledo once again. Dylan Young, Fitzwater, Matt McIntyre. Dave got in their cars in the fourth gear. But is it too little too late? Here comes Brommer with one of the freshest set of tires on track. Fourth gear will once again hinder Zorland. It looks like he's got the better tires through that right-hand corner, though. We've gotten to the point where I believe third gear will win you this race. Here comes Christian Russell. It's all about this left-hand corner. Look at this. Russell will just drive right on by Zorland. Zorland's going to have to do something different if he's going to block these guys next time by. Because here it is. Boom. This is where Zorland gets in draft, and he'll get the run back he needs. White flag is out for Christian Russell. Samet Oskin second, Zorland third. Here comes Dylan Young, LJ Toledo, Fitzwater, Matt McIntyre. What can they do with it? Zorland's just going to get to the inside of Christian Russell. Oh, this is what Oskin and Russell don't need, is for Young and those other guys to pass them. If that happens, it could be game over. Zorland back in the lead. It's the final lap in the second annual NNSCRA Honeydew Donuts 250K. Christian Russell's in the catbird seat with Dylan Young right behind him in third. Oskin's down to fourth. Is he too far away to do anything? Russell's going to make a move into the left-hander. So Samet Oskin. Side by side, Christian Russell and Jonathan Zorland. Russell with the advantage from help of his performance in third gear. Does Samet Oskin have a chance? Coming out of the final corner and to the checkered flag. It's going to be Christian Russell giving Ford the victory here at Papyrus Motorsports Park as they're 3 wide for second. Zorland second place by a nose over Oskin. Dylan Young fourth, LJ Toledo fifth, Fitzwater sixth, and Matt McIntyre seventh, and then in the pack behind Sanford, Brommer. And who the heck was in the 26 car? Oh yeah, Bradley Ream. Okay, man. 4 1,000ths of a second for second place on Zorland. But what a race here. Second annual Honeydew Donuts 250K went only 1 caution flag this time around. Richard Johnson, who was top in practice, finishing 13th. Kukul on top in happy hour, finishing 15th. But pit stops and strategy definitely played a role here today. It's cloudy, 72 degrees. I thought it was 73 for some reason. And there it is. Session is complete and official. It's Christian Russell who takes home the W in what was just a one caution flag affair. That'll do it here for me on the Bulldog Speed YouTube channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this one-off. And I will see you guys in the future for all the other events I do on this channel. We've got the NRSL series starting up in February. Fourth years for both the Digital Storm Cup Series and the Jerky Pro Truck Series, aka the 2020 seasons. So I will see you guys all for that. Until then, I believe the Neymar Mountain Dew Code Red Series races are still airing until through the end of January. I believe maybe the first Tuesday of February. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's what's going on with the channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's race. And congrats again to Christian Russell. I'll see you guys all in the future.